City, the candidates running for governor, and mine is running here in Gloucester Township, but they're running in the legislative district. This is to get them on the ballot. Yeah, election yeah, so after that, of course, the campaign and the outreach. There's a lot of them still running.
Good evening. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing for the invocation by Reverend Cassandra Hill Cole.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bow our heads. Father, we gather today in honor of Black history, our history, the story of strength and resilience and boundless brilliance. From the echoes of our ancestors, songs of triumphs, today we stand on the shoulders of those who dared to dream, fight, and build. Let us remember those sacrifices, celebrate those victories, continue their legacy with pride and purpose. May we walk forward in unity, empowered by the past and inspired to the shape of the future. Amen.
Please be seated. This regular meeting of the Township Council is being held in accordance with the schedule of the meetings of the Township Council established and adopted by the Township Council, which schedule designated time and date and place of this meeting. Adequate public notice of this meeting has been provided pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. We are using electronic amplifying recording device in order to obtain a clear and audible record, and request all those wishing to speak be recognized and state your name and address directly to the microphone. The recording device will be solely utilized by the Township Clerk's Office for the preparation of minutes and shall be the official record of the Township Council meeting. Madam Clerk, may I have the roll call, please?
Mr. Minio.
Here.
Mrs. Albert Thompson. Here. Mrs. Grace Love. Here. Mr. Nash.
He is ill.
Mrs. Walters. Here. Mrs. Winters. Here. Mr. Mercado.
Present.
Mr. Carlunia.
Here.
Mr. Cardis.
Here.
Chief Harkins.
Here.
Mr. McGill.
Here.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight we celebrate Black History Month, an event that we've been holding over 20 years here in Gloucester Township, celebrating individuals that have made outstanding contributions to our town, whether they live or work in our township. I'll start off with our proclamation, and then we'll go into a singing performance by Reverend Dr. Cassandra Hill Cole of singing Lift Every Voice and Sing. Proclamation, Black History Month. Whereas the Township of Gloucester takes pride in recognizing February 2025 as Black History Month, celebrating the many notable contributions that people of African descent have made to our country. And whereas Negro History Week was first established in 1926 by the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, under the leadership of Dr. Carter G. Woodson, the famed African American historian known as the father of Black history. And whereas in 1976, it expanded the celebration of Black History Month to a month-long celebration of Black history. And 10 years later, Congress passed Public Law 99-244, designating February 1986 as the 60th annual public and private salute to Black history, observed as National Black Afro-American History Month. And whereas we recognize this year's theme of African American and labor, and whereas this theme focuses on the various and profound ways of work and working of all kinds, free and unfree, skilled and unskilled, vocational and voluntary, intersected the collective experiences of Black people. And whereas after fighting for their freedom in the Civil War and through the country's transition from an agriculturally based economy to an industrial one, African Americans became sharecroppers, farm laborers, landowners, and then wage earners. And whereas the work of African Americans will provide versatile and insightful platforms for examining Black life and culture through compensated labor in factories, military, office buildings, public service, and private homes, but also includes the community building of social justice activists, voluntary workers serving others, and institutions building in churches, community groups, and social clubs and organizations. And whereas the work African American people do and have done have been instrumental in shaping the lives, cultures, and histories of Black people, in 2025 marks the 100-year anniversary of the creation of the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters and Maids by Labor organizer and civil rights activist A. Philip Randolph. which was the first Black union to receive a charter in the American Federation of Labor. And whereas this year's theme encourages broad reflections on intersections between Black people's work and their workplaces in all their iterations and key moments and events of Black history and culture across time and space throughout the United States, and Africa. Now therefore be it resolved that I, David R. Mayor of Township of Gloucester, and I, Orlando Mercado, President of the Council of the Township of Gloucester, do hereby proclaim February 1st, 2025 to February 28th, 2025 as Black History Month. Call upon all the people of the Township of Gloucester to observe this month with appropriate programs, activities, and reflections, and to continue our efforts to create a world that is more just, equitable, and prosperous for all. Dated February 24th, 2025. Can you please all stand? The words to the song, if you'd like to join in, are in the program.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the darkness has brought us. Sing a song full of the hope that the darkness has brought us. Sorry. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won.
Before we start our program, I would acknowledge one of our legislative officials from the 4th District Assembly, Daniel Hutchinson, Assemblyman Hutchinson. Thank you for joining us today.
Good evening, everyone. I have the honor of talking about a retired award-winning educator, a championship high school football coach from Woodrow Wilson and Winslow Township of 29 years, a leadership speaker and consultant. At this time, I'm going to bring up Coach Michael McBride. Coach Michael McBride is known for his leadership on and off the field. He's a respected speaker and writer, empowering leaders across the country through his work with the Wings Project, which is a leadership consulting and training firm he founded in New Jersey. The firm's mission is to equip, engage, and elevate leaders with tools and strategies necessary for success. Coach, you've been invited to speak at hundreds of events about leadership, culture, communication, and self-development. His audience spans Fortune 500 companies, state and national organizations, law enforcement agencies, educators, coaches, and athletes. He's also addressed groups like the New Jersey Firefighters Mutual Benevolent General Assembly, local school districts, universities, high school teams, and always focusing on how leadership can transform environments and the people within them. He's a co-founder of A Few Good Men. And when I asked Coach about A Few Good Men, he said this came from his father. His father said, look in the mirror and say, was I a good man? It's a goal of mentorship program that serves 1,000 high school football players across 15 schools in Burlington, Camden, and Gloucester counties. His goal is to get to 10,000 leaders by 2030. The initiative is driven by the belief that leadership can change communities and ignite positive impact. Coach also serves as a chaplain for Wholesome Riches, which is an organized, dedicated group to providing food to those in need at 5 locations throughout Camden. Now let's go on to his sports accomplishments. Coach Michael McBride's achievements on the football field are legendary. He's coached 9 NFL players and was named Coach of the Year by New Jersey Football Coaches Association, the Touchdown Club of South Jersey, and the Courier Post. Also recognized by the Philadelphia Eagles as one of the regional coaches in the year. In 2015, he was honored as one of the Grace on Display Persons of the Year. Coach McBride is most proud of his student-athletes' academic successes. His players earn over $10 million in scholarships and financial aid. More than 250 of his former players graduated from college. Many of these graduates have gone on to become leaders in their own communities, with some holding positions as school administrators, doctors, attorneys, and even a position at the White House under former President Barack Obama. Coach Michael McBride's daily objective remains simple: be the best version of himself and improve the lives of others every day. A proud husband of 3, his wife and his son are over there.
Not 3 wives.
Not 3 wives. He said he lost his hair when his oldest. Okay. Sorry about that, Coach. I'll get you in trouble. He believes that service to others is the greatest gift one can give. Every day he strives to create seeds of positivity and growth in the lives of those around him, leaving a lasting legacy of leadership and community impact. He's being recognized by Blackwood Elementary's principal, Alexander Ferrante. And after reading this and learning more about you, Coach, I can understand why he has recognized you. Congratulations.
I'm not going to be long. I want to say thank you to our council, our wonderful council. I want to say thank you to my beautiful wife, the only one I have. I want to say thank you to Alex, my good friend Alex Ferrante, and I want to say congratulations to all the honorees that are here tonight. I'm a son of a Georgia farm boy in the military, man. And my dad had 4 sons, so he was always that peacock. Always had his feathers up because he had 4 boys. No daughters, but nothing against daughters because God gave me lots of daughters. So now I used to have a lot of hair. I used to have black hair, and now I got blessed with these wonderful young ladies in our lives. But I want to say this to you: continue to serve. Service to others is what is going to change our world. In a global society of a lot of change and a lot of bickering back and forth across the aisle, the only way that, ladies and gentlemen, that we come together is we start serving one another. So I say this to the young people now. I see a lot of young faces in here, and here's what I say to you. As an educator, as a man of color, I say to you, it is your job now to pick up the mantle. You pick up the mantle of service to your community. Let's not start this worrying about me. Let's take care of us. Let's take care of us. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much for this incredible honor. I thank you for coming out. And again, I congratulate everyone around us. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to get a plaque here from Mayor, and Council. We also have a certificate from the New Jersey legislator, from Senator Paul Moriarty, Dan Hutchinson, and Cody Miller. And last but not least, we have another certificate from the Camden County Board of Commissioners. And I want to say, after that speech, I can see why your team is successful. Now I'm ready to run through that wall.
Well, it's really good to see so many happy faces tonight. Sometimes in this council room, we're not always happy. We try our best. But this evening, I have the special honor of honoring Chantel Washington. Come on down, Chantel. I have to tell you, I read her resume, 7 pages long. I expected an older lady. You've been busy. You've been very busy. Well, your name was given to me by your principal, Ryan Varga. And the letter that he wrote about you just really touched my heart. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how she is as a teacher, because that's my background too. And a couple of the words that he used, dynamic, innovative. She adapts to the needs of the students that she teaches. She has this special kind of talent that she sees in students what they need. And she doesn't just teach to a classroom. She teaches to every individual student. When you do that, you teach. You are really teaching and they are learning. And sometimes that's hard to do. It's actually very hard to do because the students have to trust each other plus the teacher. That doesn't always happen. Well, this lady has a special talent. She gets all the students that we used to call brainstorming. They get in a room and they all talk about what they're teaching, what she's teaching them, and they all have their different opinions, and they all express their different opinions, which is really valuable in today's society because if you express your opinion today in public, people will hit you. But in the classroom, there's this sense of respect, deep respect for our teacher and for each of the students. They have a lot of respect for each other so that they can do that. If we have more teachers like that in society, we will have less arguing out in the world. We will be able to understand each other much better, and we'll be able to accept the differences. And if we disagree with somebody, we won't want to beat them up. We'll want to say, well, why do you think like that? This is what she does. So it's so vital in today's society. Now, I have loads of things to say, but her unwavering commitment to student success and the engagement and the personal growth of her students, that's the basis for her teaching. And when you get personal growth in a student or in anyone, whatever walk of life, whether you're working or you're teaching or you're a student, whatever you are in life, that personal growth is vital. It's vital to the future of our society as a whole. And it's got to be positive. We've got to teach each other positive things, as the last gentleman said. It's really important. And so because of that, she uses the Socratic seminars. Now, those seminars ensure that every student has a voice, and that cultivates the classroom respect, dignity, and honor that each student walks away with when they go home. And they take that through life with them. That doesn't just happen in the classroom. That goes through life. That to me was the focus of my talk with you, because 7 pages of a resume, I'd be up here all night. But to me, the most important thing of all that she does is she cultivates respect for her students. She teaches them in a way that they can learn individually and together and with each other, which is so nice, because if one student says something, another student might say, hey, that might be a good idea. And then all of a sudden, some other students think about it. And that's how you get, that's democracy. That's actually democracy in society today. And that's what she's using. She's using that style, which I just really love. Now, one of the things she has, I'll tell you what, she's got high expectations for those students. Yeah, there's no fooling around. You've got to be smart. You've got to be academically challenged. She wants to challenge you academically so that when you do come up with creative ideas, they're good ones. They're not just poo-poo. And some of those ideas have to be, they're based on kindness. Some of them are kindness. Some of them are just thoughtful to an individual, not just to yourself. They're thoughtful to somebody else, which is really important. And besides all this teaching that she does in this extra special way, she is an advisor of the Pen to Mike group, and she's also an advisor of the Black Culture Club. at Highland High School. When I talked to the principal, he said to me, she is an invaluable asset to the Highland community. The lessons and values she instills stay with her students long after they leave her classroom. Her extensive resume supports the woman you see here today. Congratulations, Mrs. Washington, and keep up the good work. And we have some other things here, and I believe one is from, let's see, Hutchinson. Would you care to please present? Come on, make it work.
This one's mine. Congratulations. And I hope you don't have 3 husbands. Sorry, Mike.
Thank you. I will give you that one too.
I do not have 3 husbands. I have one, and I have a son. And I'm grateful for my church family and my natural family and my Highland family being here. For me, it's love God and love people. And that's what continues to fuel me daily. I don't know when I'll take my last breath, but if I know that the stamp is that she loved God and she loved people. And so that's why I'm here. All right, thank you.
Good evening. I have the pleasure of honoring Star Benjamin. Before I spoke with Star, I was looking at her resume and I was like, wow. I'm like, this girl, senior in high school at Highland, impressive, right? And then I looked up her name. I just Googled her name, see the meaning of it, and it means hope and guidance. If you were to read her name, the definition, and then you read her resume, and then you speak with her, you could see how her name fits her. I don't know if her mom knew she had this destiny, and then she took this path, but she is fitting the name. She does many things. She's a leader, and she participates. So she acts. She doesn't just do or expect things. She wants to make a change. In Highland, she's part of many clubs. First, she is, for 2 years, she's been secretary of her class. So that's a task. And she's vice president and current president of the Black Culture Club. So in that club, she has, she had told me today when I was speaking to her that part of women's history, she wants to make changes and she wants to do something for those that were affected out in California. So she's already putting her mindset to it that this is what she wants to do. She wasn't sure, but that's okay. She has a goal. Her wheels are spinning in her head and she's determined to do something. Also in school, she's part of the Student Voice Committee where she helped. She was on the committee, she was a spokesperson, she was a leader, and she helped change the dress code. And between staff and students, it's very hard to find a happy medium. And she did help deliver that. When I was speaking to her, and I read this on her resume, but when she was telling me, I was like in awe of her. She decided to be part of the United Nations conference up in New York in February. She took it upon herself as an individual, not part of a committee, to go up there, and she took her position on Turkey, Turkey's government, which she presented to 61? 1,300 people, I'm sorry. 61 different countries, I'm sorry. So just that impression, she took the initiative, she went there, she wanted to make this change, she wanted to prove something, and this is what she was doing. So I commend her for the leadership. She volunteers at MLK Day. I've probably seen you there. So she doesn't just, she acts upon it and she gives back to the community, gives back. And that's what she wants to do with, in her career. She wants to go away to college, sorry mom, but this will just help shape her. She wants to major in political science, international relations, and foreign policy. So when you see her one day, you say her name, remember how she was recognized. After college, she would like to join the Peace Corps and she would like to travel and make changes and help others. That's what she said she enjoys doing. So kudos mom and dad for bringing up such a beautiful daughter. And in her free time, she enjoys writing. You know, what child enjoys writing? And doing all that she does. So I commend you in your leadership and your all that you do for the community, for your school, for others to make a change. Congratulations.
This is from Mayor and Council. From Camden County Board of Commissioners. And from former Dan Hutchinson and Cody Miller. Congratulations. Would you like to sing?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for the honor, actually. One of the reasons why I donate so much of my time to service, I think, is because it's really important, and I think it helps with empathy and leadership and being able to actually listen to others and to be able to care about someone other than yourself. I do have a great life here in the United States, but unfortunately not everyone else has an amazing life in other countries. That's why I want to join the Peace Corps. That's why I want to do foreign policy and to help others. It's helped me become a much more empathetic person. It's helped with my leadership skills, being able to talk to individuals. Yeah, just, I really enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Before we go to our next recipient, I just want to thank our Black History Month committee. They have the arduous task of whittling our honorees down to 10 honorees. We received many nominations, and it's their role. We put that burden on them because we don't want to exclude anyone. So they work very hard in whittling it down to 10 honorees. So Renee Michelle and George Hill, thank you very much. Our next honoree, if I could share this, George asked me, because he looked at his name, and he goes, is he black? I said, he's from Nigeria. So George's like, okay, all right. So our next honoree is Sani Umar. Mr. Umar. I had the distinct honor of working with Mr. Umar in the Gloucester Township Public School District. He is the facilities supervisor of the largest K-8 district in the state of New Jersey. The superintendent bill, though, provided this long, looks like a memo, like he's writing someone up type thing. And I will read some of that, but also I just want to highlight some of the things about Mr. Umar. Mr. Umar was born and raised in Nigeria, came to the United States in 1978. In a program that was through the consulate where they could pick any country to go to. And he picked to go to the United States for a program that was at Camden County College. And he came here in 1978. He started off in medical technology and he switched over to business studies. He graduated with an associate's degree from Camden County, hung out here. Now, the program was they were supposed to go back to their home country. So he goes back there, comes back here in 1983 and starts working for the Gloucester Township Public School District. He started working here as a custodian, spent 2 years here, and then decided he wanted to go back. He met his wife while he was here, his wife Ruth, and he said, we're gonna go back to Nigeria because they wanted to raise chickens and have a farm there and have this big old farm. Those plans changed because he came back in 1987 and he never left Gloucester Township Public Schools. He has been a Gloucester Township Public School employee for over 39 years. He has served as the facilities director since 2009 in the Gloucester Township Public School District. When I think of Sonny, he has about 8 or 9 members of his staff and former folks that have worked with him in the past that are here this evening, that he is a kind, generous, loving man, salt of the earth. The smile, just see the smile. There it is. There it come out. But I will also read some of the things that Superintendent Goldo wrote about him. And I said to him today, I said, you have an affinity for Mr. Umar. And he said, I absolutely do. So Mr. Umar is a conscientious and dedicated employee. He's an even better individual. He's always willing to provide support to the Gloucester Township community. Examples of Mr. Umar's community involvement include the following: Gloucester Township Day, Martin Luther King Day of Service, TVA Annual Soccer Tournament, and the Gloucester Township Educational Foundation. In Gloucester Township Day, he has supported this event since it started. There are significant resources, including staff that supports this worthwhile community event, and Mr. Umar and his district staff work at Gloucester Township Day from the morning until the conclusion. And 2025, Mr. Umar will mark the 40th year he's provided service to Gloucester Township Day. In addition, the Martin Luther King Day celebration, that's a huge event that the township sponsors, and Gloucester Township Board of Education also helps out. We had over 500 volunteers this year. If you recall that particular day, there was snow and ice that was occurring. I was getting frantic phone calls, are we still having this? If we're still having it. And I contacted Ms. Dumar several times over the weekend. I said, we need to place everybody, all men and women on deck. This place has to be salted. He's like, don't worry about it, it's gonna be taken care of. And it was. There was no slip and falls. There was no ice. There was no snow. They made sure that that event took place. An illustration of his effort is that severe snow and ice had impacted Gloucester Township. Many involved questioned the event would even transpire due to inclement weather. But Mr. Umar assured the superintendent that the building and the school's parking lot would be ready. He delivered on that and the promise, and it's a truly memorable and safe day transpired for all those attended. In addition, TVA has an annual soccer tournament that takes place in Valley Brook Sports Complex. For the last 25 years, he has been involved in the support of that tournament by making sure that the fields that are behind Lauren Fleming Elementary School are to the standards of TVA to host such a large tournament here in our township. And lastly, the Gloucester Township Educational Foundation, that is the charitable arm of the school district, where they provide scholarships to teachers to provide classroom support. They provide funds to students as well. And this is a community effort that was formed. Mr. Umar has always been part of that. No request is ever too daunting for him. He is unselfish and an enthusiastic supporter at every event. So in summary, this is what he wrote. In summary, whenever Gloucester Township community requests the school district's assistance, I, as superintendent, always include Sonny Umar in planning a thorough and complete response. Irrespective of the event, he remains level-headed, a truly caring person to ensure that the request is satisfied. His humanitarian commitment, intelligence, and good humor all combine to yield the truly selfless individual he is. In the last 30 years, he's done many good things, Mr. Umar, not only for Gloucester Township Public School Districts, but for Gloucester Township. And I hope that you feel the same as well. Congratulations, Mr. Umar. On behalf of Gloucester Township, in recognition of your exemplary leadership, outstanding service, and dedication to the people of Gloucester Township, dated February 24, 2025. This is for Mayor and Council. You have a citation from the Camden County Board of Commissioners, a citation from the New Jersey Legislature, and also from Congressman Don Norcross, a citation as well, honoring you as a Black History Month.
Well, thank you so much. I want to congratulate all the nominees, and not just the nominees, but also the friends and the families of the nominees. Because without our families and the friends that support us, especially people that we work with, so our second families, and I have a lot of them in the back, we cannot be where we are. So again, thank you. This is the best township to work with, and to work in a school district, with over 6,000 kids, that comes through the, the district, it's an honor that I will cherish, for life. So thank you so much for giving me that opportunity.
I got 2 questions. Mr. Umar has some interesting interview questions. So I'm gonna ask you, the first question is, what is your superpower? Yes, he asked this in the interview. What's your superpower?
So much. I think the energy that I get from the people that I work with,
Okay.
and that are around me, that are my superpower, because they'll always be there. It's unlimited power.
Okay.
So,
And the second question, if you were an animal, what animal would you be? All right, what animal are you gonna be, son?
today, I would like to be the best human possible.
Okay. All right.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to bring up Denise Hall. Actually, I should say, Denise, can you run up here? So you speak about family, I see Denise brought some family with her. I also hear that you're a runner, is that true? Okay, great. And you ran the Philly Marathon, half marathon in November? We'll go back to that in a second, but I want you to remember a couple key notes here. A half marathon, 13.1 miles, okay? That's gonna be notes to follow along here. So Denise, she starts her mornings at 4:15 in the morning to get up and run with her soul sisters, okay? And she said that she never ran in her life, and if you ever saw her running, that meant she was being chased by a dog. So she runs every morning with the South Jersey chapter of Black Girls Run. So in 2013, at the age of 54, sorry to tell your age, but it's on here, with a friend's encouragement, she joined the Black Girls Run, an organization that promotes health and fitness among Black women. So she met so many soul sisters and so many friendships through this activity. And with the support of her fellow runners, Hall completed her first half marathon a year later in 2014. Remember, 13.1 miles. After traveling with another friend to run half marathons in different states, she soon set a goal to run a half marathon in all 50 states. There's so much out there to see, she says. Okay. In April 22, she completed her 50th state, a half marathon in Hawaii, saying she wanted to save the best for last. So it took her 9 years to achieve this goal. All right. Now, so I did some math, and I figured that's about, 5 to 6 half marathons a year, although she cheated a little bit because one year she ran 16 half marathons. Remember, 13.1 miles per run. Soon after reaching that goal, she decided, why stop there? Let me complete 100 half marathons. And at that time, she was at 72. So I just said to myself, oh, well, why not go for 100? Well, guess what? In November of 2024, the goal became a reality. She ran 100 half marathons. Friends from her running group have been inspired by her dedication. She's a very powerful, very motivating, said Juanita Robinson, a member of the Black Girls Run. She provides an awesome push. No matter what age you are, you could do this no matter what. She encouraged me so much, said Tamika Ellie, another member. And she says, I haven't stopped yet. I have the health and the strength to keep going, God willing. And when I asked her, I said, when are you going to stop? She says, never. As long as I can, I'm going to keep running. Well, Denise Hall, congratulations. I also have my friend to the right here has another citation to give you in addition to the other ones that are up on this dais.
Good evening. So Denise made an impression upon Senator Moriarty a few years ago. I don't know if you remembered interacting with the senator. And the senator heard about tonight's award, so he sent me as his emissary to give you this award. The New Jersey Senate and the New Jersey General Assembly got together and they tried to figure out who was worthy of being recognized this evening. And today you are being recognized because you represent as an inspiration to people. And this country so desperately needs inspiration. So it is for that reason you're getting this award. Now, I do want to point out a couple of things. 4:15 a.m.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. All year round.
So I think Mr. Umar would ask you, what is your superpower? And I know what type of animal it would be. Okay? But seriously, congratulations on this. This is fantastic. You're an inspiration. And I've been wondering if I could be inspired to run again since beating Orlando by over 2 minutes and 5 minutes.
Many years ago.
Over 2 minutes and 5 minutes. Okay, I think you've inspired me to get back in.
Thank God for all of this, giving me strength to do this. I want to thank all of my friends and family, my BGR sisters for their support. They're out there running with me. I'm running with them. Get up 4:15. We run at 5 o'clock. It's well worth it. Yes. It's all about health and fitness. And remember, motion is lotion. You have to keep moving. You know, just get up off the couch and do something. Walk around the block. Walk 30 minutes a day. Something. Just to keep it going. You can do it. You're never too old, it's never too late to start.
That's right.
Get up and do it. Thank you, everyone. I'm so grateful.
What's there to do in Utah but running? All right, congratulations. You got unicorn hands.
Like a mom. My heart is filled as an African American woman here in Gloucester Township for 40 years. My heart is filled because diversity in this community and to see so many people do so many great works just fills my heart. I want to welcome up Ms. Tressa Lewis. I read her bio and I just got chills because not only you're gonna hear, but as I read it, I saw myself in her and me, we talked. And then I thought about her mom and her grandma and the history that comes along with African-American people and people of color for men and women. And in the words of Miss Chantel Washington, when she said, love for God and love for your people, that resonates in our culture all the time, every day, all day long, from your being a little child and coming up. So I just want y'all to hear all these wonderful things about Miss Tressa Lewis, who was nominated by Miss McPherson, who I admire so much as well. Miss McPherson said she first came to meet Tressa at Choose School in Gloucester Township, where she taught the ever-challenging grade of kindergarten. She was a consistent smiling face, a strong presence of light, and a safe place that encouraged those around her to show up as their authentic selves. Children that came from preschool with a warning label, and we know sometimes kids can be a struggle, but they came with a warning label, she found and nurtured in her classroom as
Tressa's energy exuded acceptance. She cultivated positivity and fostered an environment of creativity for her little ones. And we know, I'm an educator too, so we know that when kids are young, you have to really love them no matter what. So they might come to you with a label, but she takes them in her heart and really gives them the love and care that they need. Tressa's leadership skills, along with her genuine warmth, has given rise to her next career path as she is the acting vice principal, whereas she's able to extend the spirit of her service she embodied to her entire school, since it can no longer be contained in the classroom. So she had to go all out in the whole school district. Tressa also calls Wayland Trimble Baptist Church her home. Trimble? Her church home, and it is there she conducts outreach programs such as Christ in Culture Humility, where she trains members to interact and embrace a diversity of culture as traditional Philadelphia neighborhoods become more integrated. She also brings her love for teaching into the ministry with an annual back to school block party, and she also gave out 150 students backpacks. But not only that, she fills them with lots of supplies and also treat them to a full fun day of activities like bouncy house, snacks, all of that, went all out. Parents also get important health information at these events as well. In addition, she's involved with Winterfest Night at her local school, where she puts her chef hat on. So she now has got another hat. She went from being a teacher to now principal, now, you know, all out in the community. Now she's back at the church and doing wonderful things for the community. And she provides warm meals and a fully stocked closet of food supplies and clothing to the community that she enjoys. Finally, Tressa is not afraid of getting a little dirty and sweat, as she can be seen rolling up her sleeves in North Philadelphia streets to clean up trash and transform those places into gardens and also dog parks. In addition to that, as I was talking to her, I knew immediately if she was not part of Divine Nine, she should be. Okay, so I was like, are you a Delta? Because we know these are all part of leadership. You are committed and you take an oath to do those things. But she told me she was an AKA. She's a part of the Alpha Kappa sorority, the first intercollegiate historical African American sorority that was founded January 15, 1908. Miss Tressa Lewis is also marking her silver anniversary. And if you know what that is, that means she's been a Delta for a very, very long time. I'm sorry. Okay, so in attendance here also is Mama Barbara. Mama Barbara Booker's here. And I know she's probably like my mama and my grandmama and every history woman of color that has come with love, support, and caring, and just do everything to make sure your dreams come true. And also here's a host of staff from Choose Landing School and a host of church members and her children. Jahia, who is 16, and Janelle, who is 4. Okay, look at this out there, I see you. On behalf of Mayor and Council President Orlando Mercado, the council members, we congratulate you on being an outstanding African American in our community. Okay, Mrs. Lewis, Black History Month Award, presented to Tressa Lewis in recognition of your exemplary leadership, outstanding service, and dedication to the people of our township on February 24th, 2025, Gloucester Township Mayor David R. Mayer and Council
recognize you for being. Yes, you're welcome. I have 2 citations. We have one from the New Jersey Legislators Office, and we also have, 3, I'm sorry. You have one from the U.S. House of Representatives, and on behalf of our Assemblyman David, I'm going to call you. I'm sorry. You also Camden County Board of Commissioners. So I don't know if you want to present this or. Okay. Okay, you're welcome. Sisterhood.
I would like to say a special thank you to the council. Thank you very much for this honor tonight. Thank you, Ms. McPherson, for nominating me. My family for being here, my church family, my Choose and district family. Thank you so much. My professional mentor is here. Thank you very much. You know, when you set out to do things to help others, you don't think that you're going to be honored because this is just something that you do. It's just a part of your everyday life. And it's nice to be recognized, but honestly, it's not necessary. Right. Right. I just encourage each and every one of you to just get out there and just help someone, whether it's just one person. And I just try to show God's love through my actions. Sometimes it's not about always saying something, it's just doing. Your actions mean more than your words sometimes. So just get out there, work hard, even if you just help one person. That's all that matters. Congratulations to all of the honorees tonight, and everyone have a wonderful evening.
On the phone, she might be after my job here as a councilwoman.
Good evening, everybody. I have the pleasure of introducing you to our nominee, Isabel. Isabel is a student from Mullen, and she was nominated by her principal, Ms. Rose Bounds, and one of her teachers, Ms. Kowalski. And normally I'll kind of go through and get highlights and things like that, but the way this letter was written, the wording that was used and stuff like that, I'm just going to kind of read through a bunch of it, just because I feel like I'm doing her a disservice by summarizing it and putting it into my words, which are nowhere near these words, because I'm not a writer. Who was it that said they like to write? Yeah, that's not me. Okay, so it's with great pleasure that we nominate Isabel for recognition during Black History Month. Her heartfelt community service and commitment to unity, compassion, and social justice reflect the enduring spirit of Black History Month and the visionary legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Isabel's dedication to uplifting others is evident through her involvement in numerous initiatives. And as an active member of the NJHS, she amplifies leadership and service by volunteering monthly with the Share Food program, participating annually in the Heart Walk fundraiser, which is near and dear to my heart, and supporting Philabundance. These efforts highlight her unwavering commitment to ensuring that all members of our community have access to support and dignity. Beyond her organized volunteer work, Isabel extends kindness in many personal ways. She creates heartfelt cards for a nursing home and assists with activities at Mullins Preschool, demonstrating that compassion can be expressed in both grand gestures and small acts of care. Through these endeavors, Isabel fosters a sense of belonging and empathy among those she serves. She has a leadership journey that began as a young age. Since the 4th grade, she served as an altar server, modeling reverence and respect for her community's traditions. In 6th grade, she took initiative by hand-making bracelets for her classmates during Mullins Spirit Week, promoting unity and inclusion among her peers. Her actions have consistently encouraged others to embrace the values of empathy, justice, and mutual respect. In every aspect of her service, Isabel reflects the ideals of equity and community and are celebrated during Black History Month. For these reasons, we wholeheartedly recommend Isabel for this distinguished recognition from the Town Council during Black History Month.
Her exemplary service and leadership serve as a beacon of hope and inspiration for our community, reminding of all of us of the power of empathy and the enduring strength of unity. So you can see the words that she used writing this letter, to me just describes someone who, we're seeing her now in middle school. So just imagine where she's going to be later on. You know, we've seen some high school students, we've seen adults, we've seen, you know, all different ages, but we're all going to be seeing her again. She might be up here again in a couple years, you never know, getting another award, we'll see. But we can all see that. She's an example of giving to the community and giving it to others. And she provides us with a wonderful, wonderful representation of what we want for our youth and from our youth in our township. So I congratulate
I would just like to thank the people that nominated me for this award, and I would like to thank my mom because she's the one that brings me to all these things after school. And yeah, I just like putting a smile on people's faces.
Our next recipient is Donna Ellison. Donna is ill today, could not make it, but I will read her nomination from Angela Rose Bound, who's the principal of Ann Mullen Middle School. I do know Donna. Donna is a full-time substitute teacher in Gloucester Township Public School District for the last 4 years. 2 years at C.W. Lewis School and 2 years at Ann Mullen Middle School. And our substitute teachers come to school every day. They're not on call, they're full-time employees, and we try to treat them like our contracted teaching staff. And Miss Allison is the self-proclaimed union leader. They're not in a union, but she's the union leader of the substitute teachers. She doesn't mind asking for things. She's a dedicated, caring, supportive staff member of our students. So I'll read Mrs. Rosebound's letter. I'm honored to nominate Donna Ellison for recognition as exemplary citizen of Gloucester Township. In her role as a permanent substitute teacher at the N.A. Mullen Middle School, she's a dedicated volunteer with the Brittany Woods Community Action Group. Donna has consistently demonstrated extraordinary commitment to both our students and our community. Donna's input on our student extends far beyond the classroom. She plays an integral role in prompting both educational and emotional well-being, whether through her daily interactions or her involvement in initiatives such as PBIS Care Program and the National Junior Honor Society. Donna ensures that every student receives the attention and care they deserve. Her willingness to step in whenever needed and her cheerful, proactive approach has made her a trusted mentor for many students. They regularly seek her advice, knowing that she is there to support them not only academically, but also emotionally, guiding them through challenges and celebrating their successes. Her dedication to the community is also equally commendable. She's an active volunteer with the Brittany Woods Community Action Group. And that's why I had Councilman Grace here to speak about that. She's a shining example of her commitment and her role in the annual Brittany Woods Community Cleanup, where she inspires and encourages people to participate. Through this initiative, Donna not only helps maintain our community's beauty, but also instills students the values of empathy, civic responsibility, and service. Her tireless work, whether it's in the classroom or in the community, exemplifies the spirit of service and the commitment we value in Gloucester Township. Her leadership, compassion, and unwavering dedication have a profound and positive impact on both the educational environment and the community as a whole. For these reasons, I'm delighted to recommend Donna Ellison for this prestigious recognition. Her contributions make her a truly deserving candidate for this award, and I'm confident that she will continue to be a beacon of inspiration and support within our township. Thank you for considering this nomination. Congratulations, Donna Ellison. We'll make sure Donna gets this. Oh, Donna, for daughter.
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to?
Yes, I wanted to say a few words, and I've known Leah since she was a little teeny baby. Donna Ellison and I lived in the same community of Brittany Woods. I moved there when I was 18, think Donna was there first. I moved 1988, 87. She was there in 86. So we've been pillars in the Brittany Woods community. In the late 90s, around that community took a decline where people were moving out, a lot of rental properties, and then all of a sudden we saw a slew of abandoned homes. So after a while, we just took the action, and that's how the Brittany Woods Community Action Group came. We met in our kitchen, my kitchen, Donna, myself, and a couple other ladies, and we formed the Brittany Woods Community Action Group. Saturday morning, we would get up, we would talk about what needed to be done, we would break things into compartments, roadside, easements, backyards, whatever the community needed, we would have meetings, and on Sunday, we would take action. So that's how we came up with Brittany Community Action Group. Donna has not only just been a pillar and a person who's dedicated and committed to serving the community in that aspect. Now, this community went from been a plight in the community to being a thriving community where there were no more abandoned homes. We might have had 2, maybe vacant homes. They became vacant homes. Everything came back to life. We rid drugs out of the community. We did a lot of things. And I'm so proud to be a friend of Donna's and watching all of our children grow up and everybody being successful. And again, going back to that whole thing of, you know, you passing on that love for people, love for God, because it constantly resonates from generation to generation. So on behalf of council, we want to give your mother this award, and we're sorry that she's not feeling well today.
Thank you so much.
Would you like to say a few things?
Just on behalf of my mom, I just want to say thank you to Mr. Mayor and council members for honoring my mom. She's been in Gloucester Township since the 80s, and she's dedicated her life now to serving children and her community. So I just say thank you on behalf of her.
She got her bachelor's, went to Rutgers, she went back to school, and she's got a bachelor's degree in social work. Yep. So, you know, she's always been there. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Billy Frazier. So I just found out I was introducing Billy to everyone tonight and her nomination about an hour and 7 or 8 minutes ago. So I am going to read a lot of her nomination letter just because I'm not that familiar. We didn't get a chance to meet beforehand. So fortunate for me, it's teachers that did nominating, so they're always very well-written letters. So that's a good thing. So she was nominated by her principal at Timber Creek, Ms. McKenzie. Sounds like there was a brief. So it's a great honor to nominate Billy Frazier to represent Timber Creek Regional High School during Black History Month. She's nominated by everyone, her principal, her vice principal, her class advisors, and her coaches. She's a 12th grade student, so she's a senior and represents the ideals of what it means to be a Charger. Billy carries a 3.7 GPA, serves as member of the National Honor Society, and her academic success is accompanied by a diverse resume. She's the vice president of her class and shows great leadership skills in that role. She also represents Timber Creek at the 2023 Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Summit at Drew University. She's also taken on the highest level of leadership roles for both our women's soccer team and our women's track team as team captain. Billy's an exceptional multi-sport athlete. She's a 2-time All-American honors winner in soccer and a Timber Creek State Player of the Year representative. She leads second in the division with 23 goals and cumulatively has 44 career goals at Timber Creek. Good for you. She's a 4-year varsity track and field athlete for Timber Creek. She's been a tremendous asset to the program as her range of ability and events is incredible. Billy's a sprinter, a hurdler, a jumper, a mid-distance runner for our team. She takes part in, there's a whole bunch of races here. And she does the shuttle hurdle relay team that holds the school record at this time. She's also named an All-American for the hurdles last spring. She's been ranked at the top 10 in the state for the last 3 years in a row in her events for outdoor track. She's won many accolades during winter and spring, such as first and second team all conference, as well as being named part of the All-Star South Jersey track and field team since freshman year. I don't know, Denise, you might be able to pull her in. Join your club if she wants to get up that early. Billy volunteers to speak at school engagements that encourage prospective and current students to make amazing decisions and exercise sportsmanship. In January, she was featured on PHL 17 television network's Athlete of the Week, and it was a sensational source of pride for our athletic program and learning community. The strengths that make Billy a success inside and outside the classroom include a strong work ethic and a willingness to always be of assistance to her classmates, teachers, and staff throughout the building. Beyond the classroom, she demonstrates self-motivation and leadership qualities through participation in school events, as well as with her work in the community. On a personal level, I, the principal, often look at Billy to help encourage and guide other students in times of need. Amazingness pours out of those perfect curls, and Billy's impact is simply magic. She's extremely outgoing, super friendly, and the school world is a much better place because she is in it. So I was very fortunate this evening. I had the honor of introducing you guys to two of our students from Gloucester Township. So I think we're going to see both of them again. No, I don't know, Billy, I don't know where I'm gonna see you. I might see you on a sports chat, I might see you on TV, I don't know where I'm gonna see you. But remember this face, because you will see her.
So I've always had such a great support system when it came to my family, but also the whole Gloucester Township community, starting from Union Valley to Mullen and now Timber Creek, all the sport programs that Gloucester Township has had from Highland and TBAA, I was a part of all those. So those programs in this community has guided me to have, my own individual ideas, for me to know right versus wrong and to be inclusive to all people because of how diverse the community is. And so I really couldn't imagine growing up anywhere else. It's amazing, an amazing community to be in. And I would just like to thank, the Timber Creek community, my principal, Miss McKenzie. She's Miss Do It All. So she really is. I couldn't imagine my years without her. My coaches, all the counselors and teachers. I've always had great role models to look up to, and I'm very thankful for everybody that's been a part of my life and has given me opportunities to, make a change within the community. But I've always had great examples set for me. So I just want to say thank you to my parents, for all the ripping and running all these past few years, and for my coaches and all my peers for always believing in me. So thank you for this.
Last but not least, Ashley Hayes. And when I say, again, I'm very proud of Gloucester Township. The schools in Gloucester Township are doing amazing things to students. But as an African American in the community, you guys are really passing the time. Where's mom and dad at? I know they're over there. We grew up and we did things and we were really involved in our schools and love for God, love for our community. But when you read the students, what they're doing, I'm like, where do they have the time? But they're doing it all, and they're not only doing it all, they're doing it with 4.0 GPAs and are just amazing. And I just want you to keep up the good work. So I'm going to read on behalf of Jordana Simmons, also nominated by everyone, for principal, the vice principal, African American Cultural Club Advisory, the class advisory, and her coaches. Everyone in the school was like, this is the one. She's going to be nominated. So Ashley, she is a 12th grader, And she's an all-around outstanding student. Ashley carries a 4.0 GPA. She serves as the member of the National Honor Society. Ashley is the African American Cultural Club president and a member of the No Place for Hate and Interact Club. She also represents Timber Creek of 2023 Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Summit at Drew University. She's going to have to tell us more about that. Ashley also is committed to excellence and has a sense, she is committed to excellence and has a sense of personal responsibility that is rare to see in students her age. Ashley demonstrates leadership in the classroom, in the hallways, and out on the athletic field, and they consider you to be truly well-rounded student. As an athlete, Ashley lends her leadership to the varsity soccer team. As a testament to her hard work, she participated as a captain of the soccer team her senior year, where she, and I needed a moment with this because I didn't know anything about soccer, but she was the stalwart defender leading the back line to 4 shutouts. Did I say that correct? And another 2 games when only 1 goal allowed. And I hope they won. You won, did you? I think I because it sounded like they won. So, but she sounded like she did an amazing job there. She commanded the defense, ensuring everyone was in place they needed to be. Outside of school, she was previously named to the Guyana Women's U17 national soccer team. Amazing. You can clap if you want. The strength that makes Ashley a success inside and out of school includes her strong work ethic and a willingness to always be an assistant to her classmates, teachers, and staff throughout the building. She has pride in the things that she is attached to, and demands a standard of excellence in all that she does. Beyond the classroom, she demonstrates self-motivation and leadership qualities throughout participation in school events, as well as her work within the community. Ashley also dedicates her time to FORCE program at school. FORCE means focus on relationships, community, and enrichment. It's a leadership program that promotes a positive school climate and encourages maximizing potential of Timber Creek. On a personal level, Ms. Dana often looks to Ashley to help inspire and guide other students in the time of need. Ashley is not the loudest person in the room, but she leads with impact and integrity. She is like a quiet storm. She is honest, hardworking, and has the principles of a leader. Being in service to others is her specialty. We appreciate her willingness to consider the experience of others and to lead with empathy. She is guided by an internal sense of right and wrong and listens to her personal convictions when trying to make choices that contribute to the greater good. Ashley is someone who is truly for the culture. She is balanced. She balances all and does it all with grace and a smile. Her contributions to the Timber Creek are as big as her heart, and your school and everyone that nominated you are very proud of you. And so am I. Vonda, I don't know if I say that right, Vonda Hayes and Patrick Hayes. Vonda, thank you. If you want to say a few words, but again, from Gloucester Township Black History Month Award presented to Ashley Hayes in recognition of your exemplary leadership, outstanding service, and dedication to the people of Township on February 24th, 2025. Gloucester Township Mayor David, our Mayor and Council presents you with this award.
I just want to first thank my TC community, my TC family, I call them. To start off, I want to thank my coaches, Ms. P's in the back and Keller's also in the back. I also want to thank Ms. McKenzie for the first 4 years, of my first, my becoming a young woman, honestly. And if it wasn't for her, then I probably wouldn't have done all the things that I've done in high school. And she's definitely become like a pillar I see every day in the hallways, always laughing, always smiling, always calling me Miss Ashley Haynes. She definitely guided me into who I want to become today. Also, I want to thank Ms. Simmons for the nomination. She's definitely like a safe space in school, and I always go to her class whenever I have the chance to. She definitely holds it down for TC. She often goes unnoticed, and I want to notice her today. And she's gonna be like the last person, like I might cry during graduation, but she definitely helps during the Black History Month assembly, and I'm gonna be my last time doing it, so I'm gonna be very thankful that I can speak during that. And then to go for the National Hugo Bryan Award, it was very rewarding that I was able to be selected among my peers, or among like 40 peers, that I was able to go and be with like-minded students that also want to be leaders in the world. And I definitely was very thankful for that I was selected for that. I just want to thank you to my parents, Andre and Patrick. They definitely always push me every day to be the best that I can with like my 4.0 GPA, always making sure I was in clubs and activities. And my dad also helped me to get on the national team for Guyana. He's always on my back about that. So I'm very thankful for him. And my mom always taking me to soccer practice. And so thank you.
U.S. Representative. And she was quiet on the phone when I spoke to her today. So I'm like smiling because I'm like, wow, that's a lot. So she might be a quiet storm, but I see great things coming from her in the future. Congratulations.
Unfortunately, the mayor could not be here today. He had a work commitment, but he sends his regards. He apologizes that he could not be here today, this evening. Nights like this are very important. I grew up in a small little town, Swedesboro, and when I went away to college 35 years ago, my freshman year, in the pursuit of food, I learned a lot of things. I learned that there was more than just Merry Christmas. There was Hanukkah. There was Kwanzaa. I learned that there was a Black History Month. The Lift Every Voice was considered the Black National Anthem. That there was a Women's History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month. And in the pursuit of food, I learned these things. On my floor, my freshman year, it was like the United Nations. You know, one of the next door fellas said, I'm gonna bring some macaroni and gravy. And I'm like, gravy, macaroni. I said, my Italian friends call it gravy rather than sauce. House Music Harold was from Kenya and had the best beats on the floor. I learned about the Jewish high holidays. The guy across the hall had Domino's every Friday and the best ties. And I didn't care who he loved. And I learned about all these different things on my floor and in school in the pursuit of food. So tonight, if you came here for something else, for another council meeting, and maybe you learned something from some of the recipients today. Because what I realized 35 years ago, and I continue, is that we learn from each other, we share with each other, and then we understand each other. And so nights like this are important. This is why we've continued to do this for over 20 years in our township, and we'll continue to do it over and over again every year. So I want to thank everyone for coming out this evening. God bless all of you. Next month, we're celebrating Women's History Month. There may be someone here that you would like to nominate, and you can nominate them up until March 7th or 10th, Nancy, something like that. It's on the website, but we're honoring individuals on March 24th here for Women's History Month. We can have double winners. Some people that are honored today could be back here next month. So I'd like to thank everyone that came here today. Thank the committee. Thank you very much. Reverend, thank you very much for the prayer and invocation. And thank you very much for coming out this evening. Can we have all the award recipients up here and we'll take a group picture. Thank you very much and God bless.
Folks, everybody's going to be a 10-minute recess. Thank you.
Proud of you.
No, I think we're taking it now. We're gonna take it now.
It's not working out.
You got it?
No.
Denise, we had taken a picture before you got here. We need to take a picture with you and her. I've lived here 17 years, but I live here like the last 17 years. And I always feel like I don't really feel this kind of every community because, you know, I go to work, I come home, you know, whatever. Like, you know, I'm like, I don't know, like, all this is going on in my community. I have no idea.
I love the fact that this is great when they call it out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is like, it feels like, I guess they said they could only nominate 10. Yeah. So they must have just picked all of them.
I know, that was Sean, the English teacher. Sean Washington, that's his English teacher. Yeah.
I love what she said. What did she say?
I know there was God in love.
But then she said, you know, my stamp on the stamp, I want my stamp to say, I love people. What did she say? I love that.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. See, that's one of them. I didn't see a name. What I'm saying was, it was right above it.
I was like, is this one of the days? Was this just on the table? And that was nice that they came here to give it to you. Nice.
Like you, I put both of them out there to y'all, and I'm gonna go to the one.
Yeah. So that's
You stuck on the all these and like oh, thank you. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. It's gonna be all right. You gonna cry it like this? You gonna cry
I don't even know what the part was on. It's probably for the tax. I have them. We have to use it for watch this, for bail money. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a police piece of equipment. All right, cool. Thank you.
Sam.
I know.
Your message. Because I need to like a formal response, not a normal response. But you gotta, again. I know, but I still like to see you get what you want. Yes. The nomination forms are, I'm not sure, you said it 7th through the 10th, it goes through the mayor's office. So it's one of those.
It's on their website. Okay, thank you. How you doing? Good, guys. How you doing, fella? I've been texting Mary Jo. I was just texting her. She's on her way home. Yeah. He's doing okay. Yeah. So she's hanging. But I told her, just go home and let him rest. Tomorrow will be a whole nother. He's going to be banged up. How are you, buddy? Oh no. She's going home. Yeah. Oh no, he'll be there. She thinks till Thursday. He needs to just go out, He needs to. He's banged up. He's not aware. He won't be awake till Got more.
Madam Clerk, can I have roll call again, please?
Mr. Mignon?
Here.
Mrs. Albright Troxel? Here. Mrs. Grace Love?
Here.
Mrs. Walters? Here. Mrs. Winters? Here. Mr. Mercado?
Present.
Mr. Barlamia? Here. Mr. Curtis?
Here.
Chief Harkins?
Here.
Mr. McGill?
Here.
Mrs. Aaron?
Here.
We'll now go to our public comment. Before we go to public comment, please follow the rules of order for our council meetings. If you're unfamiliar with them, they are posted on the bulletin board located to my left on the wall. For the first public comment portion, please limit your comments to 3 minutes for any public comment portion, and this is only for agenda items only. Anyone like to speak during the first public comment period? Is this an agenda item?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hi,
Hello.
it's me, Benita Berblascata. I just wanted to be sure that we're still on the agenda for our street.
That is on the capital budget for, and there will be a hearing for that. But
Gotcha.
yes, the La Cascada is still on
Just checking. Thank you so much.
there. Does anyone else like to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment. Bid report, tier renovations to Gloucester Township Black Box Community Center, 3 South Black Horse Pike. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Albright Troxel?
Yes.
Mrs. Grace Love?
Yes.
Mrs. Walters?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters? Mr. Mercado?
Yes. Next is ordinance, a second reading. There will be a public hearing. For the public hearing, there's unlimited time for comments. You may speak more than once during this public hearing in 5-minute increments. I will ask if there's anyone else that wishes to speak as we continue during the public hearing. If no one wishes to speak, then we'll end the public hearing. Comments? Any comments or questions that are made during the public hearing will be addressed by council at the conclusion of the public hearing. Any ordinance 0-25-03, bond ordinance authorizing the completion of various improvements to the sewer utility system in the township of Gloucester, County of Camden, New Jersey, appropriating a sum of $1 million. Therefore, authorizing the issuance of general obligation bond or bond anticipation notes of the township of Gloucester, County of Camden, New Jersey, the aggregate principal amount of up to $1 million, making certain determinations and covenants and authorizing certain related actions and connections with the foregoing. This ordinance is to extend sewer to the new Brooklyn Eagle Road. Mr. Karsh, you want to add anything to that?
No.
We'll now open up the public hearing. Anyone wish to speak on this matter? Mr. Leader, followed by Ms. Kelly, followed by a gentleman with that eagle shirt on and glasses. Okay, followed by Ms. Coyne.
Dave Leader, Huntington Avenue, Glendora. So this is an extension of the sewer system. You knew it was coming. Development board approved and planned, and the architect and all that. But in spite of that, in spite of just doing a budget, you have to borrow money. I don't understand why the monies that the MUA had at the time of their dissolution is not being used to support the activities that the sewer division needs to conduct. Millions of dollars the sewer division needs to conduct their business, but yet it's been unplanned for since it was dissolved. In section 8 of the ordinance 25-03, it says that the period of the respective bonds is 40 years. So looking at the ages of most of you folks, your children are about to have children. Those grandchildren are going to be taxed with this bond. They will be born in debt if they live in Gloucester Township. That's a sad state of affairs when you could avoid it by better fiscal planning. Can I talk about O-25-04?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone, Ms. Kelly?
Hi, name's Kelly, Hilltop Section Blackwood. Do we know the timeline of the sewer project? When's it's going to start? How long is it going to take? Spring, summer? And when do we expect it to be completed? How long is it going to take? And exactly what does the $1 million, that's a lot of money. What does it exactly cover? Is it just to hook it up? Are there other little things that are going on with it? Is there an infrastructure that we need to be concerned about? Are there other upgrades? Yeah, just let me know specifically the answers.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, there was one. Another welcome answer. Yeah. See, you're taking this. Okay. Yes, sir.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I would like to start by saying thank you for having the opportunity to have the chance to not have a cesspool, not have a septic tank, and to be able to have a city sewer hookup. I really appreciate that. My family appreciates that, and I hope everybody else does.
Can we have your name and your address? So we need your name and address, sir, for the record.
Robert D. Runquist, 1890 New Brooklyn Area Road.
Yes, continue.
Okay. Anybody who had to deal with anything like we've had to deal with since I've been there since 2013 would not like it. You wouldn't want to deal with it. That's all I have to say on that subject. I do have another issue that I would like to speak to, but I don't think it's on the agenda.
So that will be in the second public portion. Okay?
Today?
Yes.
Tonight?
Yes, we have a second public portion. You can speak about anything.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ramos. Ms. Coyne.
Good evening, Denise
Good evening.
Coyne, Cheese Landing. I have a lot of questions. One, when the township tried to sell the sewer system for $143 million to pay off the debt, Tom Carter said we'd be in a tough financial position if the referendum failed. So I'm wondering, how does borrowing $1 million for the sewer align with that statement? If the money was supposed to be tight, how can the township afford to take on more debt? And I'm wondering if the borrowing for the sewer is going to make our property taxes go up or our sewer rates go up. And let's see, also, when the township bonded the $585,000 on December 23rd, Mr. Ricardo stated that 300,000 of that 585 was to connect this neighborhood to the sewer system. So, we're now borrowing another $1 million on top of the 300,000. And if that's the case, what's the total cost to hook this neighborhood up? And why was it bonded separately? Let's see, what else? Are these funds, when you guys took the renewal and replacement funds and absorbed that into the general budget, I'm wondering why you didn't use those funds for this neighborhood. I'm assuming you knew that this needed to be done more than just, within the past month or so. So it seems to me that you could use those funds instead of borrowing this million or the 1.3 million. And I'm also wondering if you were aware that this neighborhood needed this sewer hookup when you dissolved the MUA. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Mr. Polidori?
Good evening, Council. Ray Polidoro from the Historic Village of Ariel.
Good evening.
As much as I know, that development and the surrounding area and southern end of town desperately needed this sewer. Again, we've got to go back to looking at when you folks procured $6 million of the MUA's money, and you called it a surplus, and you still sit on almost $3 million of that money. And as the gentleman previously said, you're going to pass this debt on to 2 generations, and the debt continues to climb higher than the budget for this town. And I'm going to again repeat that these people deserve this sewer. There was a time when we ran sewer up the southern end of town to assist Winslow. And why at that time was it not considered maybe to take care of those folks while we were doing all that work, while we were assisting another township and didn't take care of our own? But it all goes back to the same thing. You took $6 million of the money and you blew half of it already, and you still have $3 million, and yet you're borrowing. And you'll have even additional money that you're going to be borrowing. And again, it doesn't always have to be borrowed for. At what point do we say, maybe we should start budgeting for things? You know, I get that we need a vehicle and various things like that, but it all goes back to when you have, and I know you don't take too kindly to me saying, when you got cash leaking out of your pockets and you're going to take the people's credit card and swipe it and put us in debt, reach into your pocket. You've already taken that money and you made it your own. Why not use it and stop burdening the people of the township? It's only common sense. And yet you'll find some jargonous things to say why you had to do it. Blame Trenton. That's always a good one. But maybe start taking a look at the cash that this township has on hand. I remember one year, the state turned you down for something you wanted to put in the budget, and you couldn't use it. And the township magician found that $1 million to put into the budget and made it happen. Start spending the money that you have and stop putting us in debt. And again, I'll repeat for the 3rd time, the sewer improvement there is needed. It's my end of town, and I know that. And to hear some of the conditions that the people have had to live with in all this time, it's tough. So I support it. I just don't think going in debt when you had the cash was the appropriate thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Mr. Leader's comments that we knew that this was coming. No. As council members, as a legislative body, we probably knew about this in the last 4 to 5 months. Shake your head, Mr. Leader, but that's what I'm telling you.
Because we can't have two-way dialogue.
So we can't have back and forth.
No, no two-way dialogue for your public.
Mr. Cardis?
I don't recall when the first meeting with Mr. Ronquist and his fellow residents took place in the mayor's office to discuss this problem. That's really where it initiated from. The 40 years that Mr. Leader mentions, that is by local bylaw. Anything to do with the sewer is basically going to be at a 40-year period, and that's prescribed by the state. There was another comment about.
I'll get to that. I'm going down there. Ms. Kelly asked about the timeline. When will it start? What does it cover? The completion of it, and does it cover upgrades? So can you provide?
Yeah, unfortunately, Mr. Leach is not here, the engineer, but my understanding is the project is almost complete. There are a couple other homes that are tying into that sewer line. And once they tie in, then it will be 100% complete.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Rumpus, about having city sewer. Ms. Coyne, I had asked how the township can afford to take on more debt based on comments that you made on the sewer sale. Would you like to address that?
I don't recall the comments about sewer sale, but I mean, as far as any projects that would be undertaken of a capital nature at the sewer utility, that would be handled through issuance of that.
She had concerns regarding the tax rate and possible sewer rate going up. We're in the process of working, administration's working on municipal budget right now. The CFO is here as well. Are there any anticipation of nothing has been brought to council regarding a sewer rate? When we have a fee increase, as we had last year for connection fees, I was brought before council, and the sewer rates remained flat. Ms. Coyne had indicated that in December, there was a $300,000 of a $500,000 plus bond that we approved in December. That $300K would go towards that.
My recollection is that the Brooklyn area road project, that sewer line, had nothing to do with the 585. That project was the $1 million project. I don't know if the CFO recalls what specifically was in the 585. Christie, do you know that?
It was various sewer projects.
Okay, I'll pull that. I'll pull the tape. Take a look at that.
You can pull the ordinance.
Yes, okay. The renewal and replacement funds, why were they not used for this neighborhood? Again, this conversation that took place with residents there is something within the last year. Is that correct?
Correct, yes. My understanding, yes. My recollection.
And were you aware at the time of dissolvement that this was needed? Again, dissolvement of the MUA took place, it'll be 2 years in March. So that was at that time. Mr. Polidoro, people deserve sewer. You said that a few times. And we blew half of it. Again, Mr. Polidoro, that money was returned back to taxpayers in a tax relief, and we possibly be returned back to the taxpayers in this budget as well. Okay, we'll move on to ordinance 0. Sorry. Okay. Oh, sorry. Can I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second on the question? Roll call, please.
Mr. Minio?
Yes.
Mrs. Albright Tromso? Yes. Mrs. Rosenbaum? Abstain. Mrs. Walters?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters? Yes. Mr. Mercado?
Yes. Ordinance 0-25-04, bond ordinance authorizing the completion of various capital projects and the acquisition of various pieces of capital equipment in and for the township of Gloucester, county of Camden, appropriating a sum of $10,403,536. Therefore, authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds or bond anticipation notes of the township of Gloucester, county of Camden, New Jersey, in the aggregate principal amount of up to $9,908,129, making certain determinations and covenants and authorizing certain related actions in connections with the foregoing. This is our annual capital budget that will address reconstruction, repaving of various sidewalks and curbs in the township, reconstruction and repaving of various streets that are identified in our capital budget, various drainage improvements throughout the town, improvements and upgrades to various parks and playgrounds and recreational facilities, acquisition and installment of various traffic signs, improvements and upgrades to various township buildings, acquisition of heavy equipment for the Public Works Department, acquisition of various vehicles and equipment for the Public Works Department, acquisition of various equipment for the Parks and Rec Department, acquisition of information, IT, technology and office equipment for the Police Department, and various improvements to township grounds, open space, and streetscapes. Again, we'll open up the public hearing. There's unlimited time for comments. You may speak more than once. There will be in 5-minute increments. You may speak more than once. Comments and questions will be addressed at the conclusion of the public hearing. Anyone like to speak on this ordinance? Mr. Leader, followed by a gentleman here, followed by Mr. Sweet, followed by Ms. Coyne, Ms. Kelly, and Mr. Polidoro. Please remember your order of fighting. forget. Mr. Leader.
Thank you. Dave Leader, Huntington Avenue, Glendora. I think this is the one last meeting where Mr. Cardis was given accolades for cutting items out of this. I think that was this issue. And I think that should be recognized for good performance in tired times when there's money to be needed. I'd like to see you do 2, 3 more rounds of paring back. Take what you need to maintain, obviously. Take what you need that you've made commitments to, obviously. But if there's internal things that can be delayed for a year or can be put in a budget that is not yet approved, add them to the budget. Do that. Borrow less.